Well, all right. Hello and welcome to Tina and Karen Do the Tube. I am Karen.
This is Tina.
How many more times are you going to do that before we try something else?
Until I think of another voice I want to try.
How about Mario?
It's me, Tina.
That's exactly right. It's me, Tina.
I try that one next time.
Speaking of racist caricatures, just substitute one for another. All right, yeah.
I didn't think our conversation would carry it right into the podcast.
No, that's what Tina and I were discussing before we got into the podcast. Anyways, we got a great show for everyone tonight. For all of our loyal listeners out there who've been wondering where do Tina and Karen stand on the issues and what do Tina and Karen believe and who are Tina and Karen at all, we're going to answer a lot of those questions tonight.
Or do we even stand?
Yeah, we're going to answer a lot of those questions tonight. Politics and personality, personality and politics. Human beings differ in more ways than there are people on this planet. For every individual that you find here on the most recent planet we inhabit, called Earth, you can probably learn that there isn't much you can predict about them. Or is there? Does a person's personality predict their politics, or are the two completely independent from one another? Here on the Tina and Karen Show, Tina and I love to dive into all matters political, philosophical, cultural, and psychological. There truly is nothing in this world that isn't worth discussing. But where do Tina and I agree? Where do we differ? Are we different? Or are we the same? And further to the point, just what can the online personality test truly tell you about yourself? Is there an underlying science to it all, or is it merely astrology masquerading as pop psychology? Tonight, Tina and Karen and I will be taking two tests, the Myers Briggs personality test and the political compass test. Two of the most highly disputed, really inaccurate tests out there.
It's a show you've been waiting for, people.
Yeah. But you actually kind of led me into this little podcast with a little bit of skepticism, didn't you?
If you're talking to me like 12 years ago, I may have had a different opinion, but
But your opinion about the Myers Briggs personality test has changed?
I think so. I think when I first really kind of dove into it, it was still kind of widely accepted as generally truthful. But over the last kind of decade or so, it's kind of been poked and prodded by the powers that be in science.
Yeah. The general psychologist, the general consensus of psychologists is that the Big Five model is a better depiction of someone's personality, correct?
That seems to be true, and I wonder why that is. I don't know. I just, it's more boring to me. I like archetypes.
I like the archetypes too. I think they're surprisingly accurate. I've given that test to multiple people I know, and they all come back with the exact same opinion. What?
That's kind of true.
Yeah, they all say, yeah, exactly. Whoa, I can't believe how accurate that was. And then
now, do you think they might be suffering from confirmation bias?
No, I mean, I don't know why they would. They have no attachment to the success of this test. They just want to hear. No, I mean, they don't agree with everything they hear, but generally speaking, they say how creepy accurate they think it is, as opposed to the Big Five model, which is a little boring. When I took it, it told me I'm highly open and I'm highly conscientious, and I'm low extroverted. And those I didn't.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, but it didn't really.
Yeah, the thing with like the Myers Briggs is it like has this whole archetype, and so like there's things that you might not associate with yourself that kind of make more sense after you take the test. Whereas with the Big Five, it just gives you percentages, and it doesn't. It really feel like it reveals anything you didn't know already.
Right, because you're right. You just put it exactly. It gives you these percentages of what you are, but it doesn't tell you more about who you are. With the archetypes thing, it fits you into a category, and then that category seems they have all these huge descriptions and how do you do in relationships, how do you do in friendships, what are your strengths, weaknesses, and they all seem so accurate to me.
I think one of the probably biggest criticisms though of Myers-Briggs is it's very kind of black and white within like you're extroverted or you're introverted or you're intuitive or you're thinking, you know. it doesn't allow for a lot of like wiggle room in between. Although a lot of people will give them if they're in between two different I forget what all four are
Hmm.
called specifically, but
Well, we'll get
if you're
into
in
it.
between, they'll waffle and say, I'm either this or this, and it's actually common for certain types to actually um, certain pairs to feel that they might be this or that. And common, like an INFP and an INTP will often confuse one another between each other.
And I think that's true because, like, for instance, I gave this test to my wife. It was one of our earlier dates. I swore by,
Oh,
yeah, I swore by the test's accuracy, and I was curious of what she was. And
mhm.
now she registered as an INFP. No, sorry, an INFT, INFJ.
ah,
And like,
I think
it,
that's I forget.
it's
The advocate.
the
Okay.
advocate, and she agreed that like the description was very accurate. But the thing about calling her introverted versus extrovert, I think she registered like 53% introverted versus extroverted. So
Mm.
because she really does like being around people and she likes communicating and she likes talking to people and making connections, but I think she does, like myself, get more enjoyment or re-energize through being by yourself.
Yeah. But from what I understand, the ENFJs I met compared to the INFJs, you kind of know.
Yeah, and I bet if I were to like switch just one variable on my personality, it wouldn't.
Hmm.
I would read that description and I would say, yeah, that sounds just like me. I mean, but at
Hmm.
the same time, if I flipped all four on me, I would say that sounds nothing like me. So there's a little wiggle room. I will say, not it's not perfect, but I do tend to think it's a better test. And the other test we're going to be taking tonight is the political compass test, which you are
Mm.
somewhat familiar with.
Yeah, I think I've taken it before 4 or 5 years ago with a friend.
And the political compass test was developed by a group of political scientists who believed that the whole left right paradigm was too simplistic and that people actually differ on two different spectrums, both a left right paradigm and a authoritarian libertarian paradigm.
Mm.
Obviously, I think the difference between left and right would be best described as, simplistically speaking, how individualist you are versus how collectivist you are.
Okay, so we needed to add a y line to this XY graph.
Yes, exactly. So now we're going to take both these tests tonight, and mostly I think it's going to be pretty straightforward. It's just going to be a
Hmm.
personality test and a political test for the two of us. But if any of these questions sparks a deeper conversation, we are going to run with it, aren't we?
Yeah, like we do.
Like we do. All
Do you
right.
have do you have any idea which one you think will spark the most? Have you reread the questions beforehand?
Um, no. I,
Okay.
I do remember, I do recall, at least with the political compass test, a lot of the questions are designed to be purposely vague. They want people to
Okay.
critically think about these statements, and they're statements. You're supposed to agree or disagree with a statement, um,
Hmm.
and they're written in a way where it's not straightforward.
Oh,
So
yeah, it's purposely vague so that if you have a bias, you won't sort of lean into that bias.
yeah, exactly, and it's also to help you critically think about um, something that's, well. Anyways, we'll get more into it. I got nothing. Um,
Okay.
So, but before we begin, do we want to discuss personalities first, or do we want to discuss politics first? Which would you rather do first?
Let's do personalities first.
Let's do personalities. All right. Tina and Karen are going to do the Myers Briggs personality test. All right.
Woo!
Okay. Okay. How this is going to work is on a scale of 1 to 7, 7 being most agree, 1 being most disagree, strongly disagree, in other words. You're going to tell me how
Mhm.
much you agree with this statement, and I'm going to go along with you so we can get our results at the same time. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So, first
Hmm.
question. You enjoy vibrant social events with lots of people.
Damn, you're asking me during the pandemic?
Has that changed your outlook on being around people?
I mean, I can feel like I can easily get tired of large groups of lots of people if I'm faced with it a lot. But since I don't
Let's
generally see large groups of people
let's okay.
in the
Well,
last,
don't consider the pandemic. These are extreme times. Let's say put yourself in your pre-pandemic mindset. Do you enjoy vibrant social events with lots of people?
if I were to go to a party, the amount that I would like there would be between 12 and 18. Is
All right, Tina, we're gonna.
that large?
It's a very simple, straightforward question. On a scale 1 to 7, 7 being most degree, 1
Okay,
being the least
okay.
degree, you enjoy vibrant social events with lots of
I
people.
will I will go, I will say 4.
Great, middle of the road. That's
That's
that's perfect. All right.
how you get a personality.
Yes, neutrality. All right. Did you ever see Futurama, the neutral planet?
No.
Did you? Did you ever
What is
watch?
that?
Did you ever watch Futurama? Really?
I mean, I watched a lot of it, but there's a lot I haven't watched
There
too.
was, but there was a very funny episode in which Zap Brannigan, who is like the William Shatner Captain Kirk like character, declares war on the neutral planet because he's bothered by their neutrality. And there's one line from like the president of the neutral planet when he's being bombed. It's like, if I don't make it, tell my wife, hello. He's not taking a position on it. Is what I'm saying. All right.
Of course, because they wouldn't be able to communicate.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. All right. You often spend time. Okay, and then let's see here. I'm gonna say 2 for me. In general, I don't like
Okay.
lots of people around. All right. You often spend time exploring unrealistic yet intriguing ideas.
Not as much as I should be.
So you would disagree?
When I like compare myself to my roommates, I feel like I'm extraordinarily into new and crazy ideas, but
Uh-huh.
um,
Well,
I feel like I could be more. So maybe it's just what I'm feeling lately.
okay. So what would you say? 5, 6, or 7?
Um,
Sounds like a
and I don't go off the deep end, so I'll go 6.
okay. Um,
Mhm.
this is going to be a very tiring experience for me, only because I've been in the grocery store with Tina, picking out snacks and beer before, and that's just picking snacks and beer for the night, not discerning your whole personality. So, in other words, I'm trying to say, Tina, I love you, but you're very indecisive sometimes.
So the political test will probably go a lot faster.
Okay, great, great.
I can either agree or disagree.
Right, exactly. All right, your travel plan. Okay, I went with a 7 because I really enjoy
Oh,
discussing any idea out there. I don't care if it's pragmatic or idealistic or whatever. I love discussing those ideas.
that's probably why I'm not a 7. I like new ideas.
Okay. Your travel plans are more likely to look like a rough list of ideas than a detailed itinerary.
Oh, definitely a rough list.
Okay, so 7?
Remember my 2 things for our cross country road trip?
Dogfish Brewery and Voodoo Donuts.
Yep.
Yeah, we did a cross country road trip, and he had 2 places in mind. That's it.
Jed, I only want to go to 2 places:
Yeah,
Voodoo
me.
Donuts and Dogfish Head Ale. Which tended for great places, but
I would say that I like
I
less.
just wanted to get out and see.
Yeah, I would also say I enjoy less structured travel than highly
Okay.
detailed travel. If I don't see everything I wanted to see, it's not a loss to me. I think I'd just rather just go with the flow. So I'm not gonna go 7. I'll go 6. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, usually the most stressful days for me are like at the airport or checking out.
Yeah, exactly. All right. You often
Hmm.
think about what you should have You often think about what you should have said in a conversation long after it has taken place.
I wouldn't say for every conversation. Usually I do let things go, so I'll go middle of the road on this one.
You're going to go 4?
Yeah, I'll go 4.
I oftentimes kick myself for something I could have said but didn't. I do it all the time. Like, I just had a conversation with one of my friends on Wednesday, and he had brought up something that I knew pretty strongly about. I knew pretty well the subject matter, but I was just caught in the headlights, and I didn't have anything to say. So on the drive home, I was thinking, like, fuck, I should have said this. So I will say 6.
No, yeah, I did. I might get hung up a little bit, but then I'll get distracted and move on.
Yeah, okay, I'll probably say 5 then. You're probably right, I think. All right, if your friend is sad about something, your first instinct is to support them emotionally, not try to solve their problem. We may not have time for the political compass test.
I think I think probably emotional first, but I've lived with a bunch of guys, so usually it's like, how do we fix this?
Yeah, but don't think about them. Like, I mean, think about yourself. Like, what is your instinct to go to? Solve their problem or support them emotionally?
Probably support them emotionally, especially if I feel like they're an emotional person,
Okay. So
because then things tend to get out of hand.
all right. So how about on a scale of 1 to 7, 5, 6,
I'll go
7,
6.
6?
Mm-hmm.
I actually am pretty good at emotional empathy as well, but I think I don't know. I think I'm gonna say neutral on that one. I'm gonna go 4, just because it really depends on who I'm talking to. All right. People can rarely upset you.
I would say so. Like, my coworker is amazed by my lack of hostility while driving.
So we go 7, 6.
I would go 7. Yeah, people usually don't get under my skin.
I'll go 7 as well.
Really?
Oh yeah. I know I might seem more hot-tempered, but like maybe I'll go 6. Okay, I'll go 6. But yeah, I mean, people they don't really upset me. They can disappoint me in some way, but I don't think I get mad when people like do things. So, anyways, moving on. You often rely on other people to be the ones to start a conversation and keep it going.
I rely on other people to start the conversation.
Yeah, and to keep it going. In other words, you're the less dominant personality in the conversation.
I feel like I tend to start the conversation, but I like them to keep it going.
Sort of middle of the road.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll ask continual questions, but I won't. I'm not a ranter.
Yeah. Oh boy, I actually got to a different part in the test. This isn't like. Let's go with you. I already know my personality. All right. I'll just respond to yours because there's we got a point. We got up to a point where they sent me to a different point in the test, so it's not.
Oh, divergent.
Yeah, I know because I'm far more complex than you. All right. If you have, but I know my personality already. I've taken this test, so I will just answer along with you to these questions. I won't fill mine out.
Okay.
If you have to temporarily put your plans on hold, you make sure it is your top priority to get back on track as soon as possible.
Oh, definitely not.
Oh, okay. So we go in 1.
If I have to put my plans on hold, I'll usually probably space it out indefinitely.
Right, so you won't get back to it very.
Usually, yeah.
So that's a 1.
Okay, we'll do 1. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not trying to suggest it on you. I want you to give me a number. Yeah. Remember,
I mean, honestly, most of my answers would probably be somewhere in the middle, but
well, that's okay.
I feel like I need to answer 1 or 7 more.
You don't have to. If you just generally agree. Oh my God! Don't let me answer this for you, please. I just want you. Just keep in mind 1 to 7. It doesn't have to be 1 or 7. It can be somewhere in the middle. It can absolutely be somewhere in the
Okay.
middle. Where is it, Marty?
Okay, two.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right, I'm passing.
All right. You rarely worry if you made a good impression on someone you met.
What's the top end of the scale? Like, I really worry, or I don't really worry.
You rarely worry if you make a good impression on someone you met. So saying 7 would
That'd be
say,
so.
I never think about making a good impression. 1 would say, I often think about making a good impression.
Um, Depends on the person. I usually don't, but if it's someone, a friend of mine that's like they're introducing me to someone they've always talked about, then I might be more adamant on making a good impression. So I'll go three.
All right. It would be a challenge for you to spend the whole weekend all by yourself without feeling bored.
No, not a challenge at all.
Okay. Is that a 1 then? Or what?
That's a one. That's a
Okay.
one.
Yeah, I'd agree with that one for me.
Mm-hmm.
I could always find
Mm-hmm.
something to entertain myself. You are more detailed oriented than a big picture person.
I'm def. Ooh, I might be in the middle on that one. When I get stressed, I tend to be more detail oriented. I lose sight of the big picture.
Okay. So that's a 4 then?
Yeah.
I would say I'm more of a big picture person. I
Mm-hmm.
I'm really good with numbers, so that could be the detail part, but
Mm-hmm.
I am constantly in my own head so much that I can't pay attention to very small stuff that don't capture my interest. So I often think about the bigger picture first.
Ah. See, I'll be thinking about the big picture, and then I'll see like a speck of dust on my like desk, and I have to rub it out.
Yeah. All right, you are very affectionate with the people you care about.
Oh, definitely. I wouldn't say I'm like. I see people that say like I love you all the time, and I'm not like that.
No, you don't
But
say it.
then sometimes I feel like those people are phony.
Oh,
But
really? Martin, I love you.
hmm, thanks, man.
Am I a phony?
No, you're not.
Okay, thank God. I was worried because
But you would say that to me, but you wouldn't say it to like just a general acquaintance, right?
oh hell no. I say
Okay,
it.
where would you draw the line?
Okay, I reserve my love for my family, you.
Would you do it with Phil?
No, I don't think so. I mean, like, I really like Phil,
Mm-hmm.
Phyllis. I don't know if I love him. Like love is like family related. I would say I love you like a brother. I love Tony like a father. Like Phil
Mm-hmm.
is kind of like an older brother, I guess, but I would draw the line at him. I would go my
Okay.
family, my wife, and you and Tony, another friend of mine,
Okay.
who's been like a mentor to me, and that's who I'll reserve the word love for.
Okay.
Everyone else is more. I really,
Can go
really
fuck off.
no, not no. I really like them. It's just I wouldn't use the word love. Love is family.
Okay.
It's very
Okay.
yeah.
So you
So
have a very specific definition, whereas other people might have a broader definition of how they use it.
Nader,
Okay.
Nader.
So I'll probably yeah. I'll
He uses
go.
love like a currency.
Oh God. Ugh. Ugh. Yuck. I'll go 5.
5. Okay. Yeah, that's probably right around where I'm gonna get. All right.
Mhm.
You have a careful, methodical approach to life.
No, definitely not. No, if you know anything about me, I'm not methodical at all.
No. All right.
There's no method going on here, folks.
No, he's the mad genius type without the plan. So you're gonna go
Without
1.
the mad and the genius.
All right, you're gonna go.
I'm that thing that carries that person on.
Oh, don't sell yourself short. You can be the mad.
Okay.
You can be the Rick, except without the.
Oh God. Without the genius.
You know what? Like, I want to say, like, Rick and Morty has one of the best quotes I've ever seen. I know it's a stupid cartoon show, but I read it the other day and I thought, wow, That is that is like that's gonna be on like
What quote was it?
that's gonna be historical. He says, "I don't care about your booze. I've seen what makes you cheer."
Okay, what?
Yeah, no, no, no.
I've
It's
seen
like
what makes you
yes,
cheer.
there. I don't
Hmm.
know what I remember. I don't remember which episode it is, but I think he's talking to people who are well. He's obviously talking about people who boo him. But the quote from the show is, "I don't care about your booze. I've seen what makes you cheer."
Okay. I still don't quite get it, but
It's getting the point that like when someone's judging you, but you don't actually agree with their moral framework, then you don't care that they're judging you. It's someone who says like I mean like who thinks bad words are bad, but killing babies is okay. Okay, well I don't care what you
okay, okay,
I don't care what you say about me at that point. So it's like I don't care
okay.
I don't care about your booze. I've seen what makes you cheer.
All
All
right.
right.
I kind of get it.
I love that quote. Just saying. All right. You are still bothered by mistakes you made a long time ago.
Not really. I wonder, like, if I made different choices, where I'd be, but I'm not bothered by it.
Mm-hmm. You got to give me a
Um.
number.
Oh,
That's what this whole thing's about. Just give me a number.
not bothered. I'll go 6. Sure.
No, you are still bothered by mistakes you made a long time ago.
Oh,
2.
2.
Okay. At parties and similar events, you can mostly be found farther away from the action.
Oh man, I'll either be like further away or like right in the middle of it.
I guess that's a neutral, huh?
Yeah, that'd probably be a neutral then.
All right. You often find it difficult to relate to people who let their emotions guide them.
Maybe a little bit actually. Um,
I'm definitely that way.
just because they tend to be harder to hang around.
They're just unpredictable for me.
I'll see where it goes, but it's gonna be a ride. That's like my boss.
yeah, no, like, one of my favorite coworkers. She's an incredible person, but she's also very emotional, and her mood can change day to day, and you never know what to. It can be frustrating to deal with a person like that because you never know what's going to set them
My
off.
Yeah, I was yeah, you never know what's gonna set them off. It's like walking on eggshells.
Right. So wait.
Or set them in a good mood.
Yeah, that's what I say about this this particular woman. I say when she's in a good mood, she's the most fun, best person to work with. When she's in a bad mood, she makes it her mission to make sure everyone's in a bad mood. Yeah.
And my coworker was giving my boss a compliment one day, and he responded, "Oh, I like that. That's how you get a raise." Like when we couldn't tell if he was being serious or not.
Did he get a raise?
Eventually, yeah.
Oh.
Not like that.
No.
Not like that right then there, but
Yeah, he just never got around to the paperwork to fill it out. All right, no, okay, so your answer is you often find it difficult to relate to people let their emotions guide them.
I don't think it's unrelatable, but I feel like I have a lot more control if I'm feeling rocky. So I'll go 5.
5, that's okay, good. When looking for a movie to watch, you can spend ages browsing the catalog.
Yeah, okay. You've seen me picking out snacks and beer.
All right, so what is that? Give me a number.
That's a very high number.
So that's 6 or 7?
Let's go 7. Yeah,
7,
sure.
okay. You can stay calm under a lot of pressure.
Yes, I think so. People have told me that, so I'll go with that.
Number?
I'll go 6.
6, okay. I've seen it your job is very fast paced. When in a group of people you do not know, you have no problem jumping right into their conversation.
Ooh, I don't like chiming in on other people's conversation. This is where you and I might differ.
No, no, I'm right with there with you. I actually don't want to jump into people's conversations if I don't know them.
Like, especially like I've seen people do it on the bus, and I'm like, hey, yeah, yeah.
I think you might think that I'm that way because I'm more confident when I'm around you. And
Ah,
it makes me you give me the confidence to go out and talk to people. But in my
okay,
my usual nature, I'm not the one to go jump in to have a conversation with someone.
okay. So
I will
it has to do with the
yeah.
Martin or the Tina
The
factor.
Tina factor, yeah. I will say that I enjoy having conversations with strangers at bars and such. I really do. I used to go to
Mhm.
bars just to have conversations with strangers. They were some of the most
You
enjoyable. Yeah.
you're not interrupting their conversations if they're having.
No, I can't do that. I definitely can't do that. If
Mm-hmm.
someone approaches me at a bar, I will talk to them, and I usually really end up enjoying that conversation. I've Some of the best conversations I've ever had have been with people I never talked with a second time. But I can't just interrupt someone's conversation. No.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are you about you? One, you going
I would probably go like one.
one? Yeah, I'd kind of do the same. I think. All right. When you
Mm.
sleep, your dreams tend to be bizarre and fantastical.
They used to be really bizarre and fantastical.
And then you learned about
Mm,
alcohol.
yeah, so the dreams are kind of a lot more like the dreams that I remember these days are usually where I'm back at work.
Wow. Talk about like the dreams are our escape from our mundane lives, and you're dreaming about work.
I know it's so sad,
It's
but
very sad.
I know for a fact if I wasn't at work all the time, they would probably be a little bit more bizarre.
Okay. So what were you gonna say?
I'll go five on that one.
All right. Okay. In your
Mhm.
opinion, it is sometimes okay to step on others to get ahead in life. Sorry, I'll say it quickly. In your opinion, it's sometimes okay to step on others to get ahead in life.
I've never had to. I encourage people to step on me to get ahead in life, but um, I wouldn't encourage people to step over people other than me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go two.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I agree. You got to be
Mm-hmm.
true to your own ethics. I think very much. You are dedicated and focused
Mm-hmm.
on your goals, only rarely getting sidetracked.
When I do have goals, I'm very focused on them, but
You just don't have
I
that many.
make a point of not making goals.
Okay, I'm gonna bring up dodgeball.
Okay.
Okay, so the movie Dodgeball, the character, I don't know, Vince Vaughn's character, he says, I found that having
Mm.
goals means that you oftentimes don't ever accomplish them. So if you never set goals, you're never disappointed. That's how
I
you.
kind of like that.
That's how you like to live your life. Okay, so uh, you're not really focused on your goals because you choose not to have them.
Well, I think people set goals for me, and I'll try to meet them. But for as far as my own goals,
What was the
I
last goal you set for yourself? Personal, professional, health, relate, whatever. What was the last time you set a goal for yourself? You think?
set goal. What serious set goal? Oh yeah, I never met it, but not yet. It's still going on. But I wanted. I think I told you in an earlier podcast. I wanted to finish one video game, finish one book, do 200 push-ups, and do one arm pull-up during the pandemic.
Oh, yeah. And how much of that have you accomplished?
One.
Which
I'm
one?
pretty close to 200 push-ups.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
sure I haven't actually tried to get it, but I'm sure I could get pretty close. The one arm pull-up seems to be the hardest one of them all, and I know eventually I'll read a book. So
Read a book or listen to a book?
read a book. Come on.
See, I'm not the elitist that you are. I think the ideas matter. I don't care whether you got them by reading them or listening to them. The ideas are what matter.
Oh, hey, you calling me the book commie?
What the fuck? No. I said that you might. I don't think. I don't want to book snob. Is what a snob would be the better right word. I don't know where commie came out of that. Is commie implies that you'd want all books to be the same, and they're all the Communist Manifesto.
I want all ideas to be the same.
You know, I
No.
actually no, that's very true. But like, it's kind of funny because a lot of people think Gene Roddenberry wrote Star Trek as his communist utopia in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But
It
like,
wasn't.
No. Star Trek was a post-scarcity capitalist world. There wasn't communism. In fact, what's the Zorg? The Zorg. Yeah, that's it. I think the Zorg was like his was Roddenberry's critique of communism. It was a hive mind. Everything was the same. Roddenberry had nothing against individualism.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I just bring that up.
I don't actually know that much about Gene Roddenberry. Other than he wrote those stuff.
We should probably watch the original series and we'll do a critique of them, and that could be a podcast because Star Trek's a great series.
All right, I like it.
I like it too. Putting that one on the list. Okay, Star Trek critiqued by two people who have never been paid to critique anything in their life. Therefore, they're the most qualified because we represent the everyday man. And fuck Rotten Tomatoes.
So they not too. They don't have a high opinion of Star Trek?
No, Rotten Tomatoes just has a high opinion of the weirdest stuff. Rotten Tomatoes has a high opinion of cuties from Netflix. So fuck them.
It's not even out yet.
I know. But
I actually just watched Starship Troopers.
Oh, that's a great movie. but in general,
not at all like Star Trek, but
well, actually, no. That's actually really funny that you bring that up because Robert Heinlein wrote Starship Troopers around the same time Roddenberry wrote Star Trek, and they're sort of seen as like
it's supposed to be like a political dissertation, isn't it?
It is
what I heard.
So so the book was.
Yeah.
Let's make that.
It's like Gulliver's Travels.
Yeah. Let's make that clear though. The book was a political manifesto through the lens of a sci-fi action, but the movie, the director of the movie Starship Troopers, literally said that he found the book too boring, so he never read it.
Is that really what happened?
Yes, I swear to God. So if Robert Heinlein was alive to see the movie that was made based on his book, he'd probably hate it.
It's like if I came up with a movie called like Lord of the Rings, and it's a guy who tries to get married the most out of all his friends.
Yeah. So imagine that. Imagine like Peter Jackson like flipped. Okay, so I remember like the director who made Starship Troopers read like the first couple of pages and he got bored, so he said, "I'm not gonna read this." Imagine Peter Jackson was the same way with Lord of the Rings. Like, oh fuck, a bunch of like little people like with jewelry. That's boring.
No.
Yeah, we'll just throw a bunch of fight scenes in there. It'll be good.
Let's add some, complex relationships in here.
This is this is a topic for another day, but like, can you imagine? Do you think Lord of the Rings has held up better than Game of Thrones?
I would say so. Yeah, I would say so. I think since the series ended on such a sour 2 seasons.
That's
and the book and the series, even the books haven't even come out yet, or the last 2 books haven't even come out yet, or may not ever come out. It will probably be held up. The only redemption that I think Game of Thrones has is if George R.R. Martin can right the wrongs somehow of what people perceived in the last 2 seasons of the series.
Well, one of the criticisms I heard, and the most valid criticism I heard for Game of Thrones, is that you can end the series the exact same way you did. Like, all the main events could still happen, but they rushed it too much. Everything felt too rushed.
Yeah.
Like, Khaleesi going mad. It was like 1 second she's like the savior, and the next second she's Hitler.
Felt like a 180.
It's a complete 180. And like, you can still have her become the Mad Queen. It can't happen like in a 3-episode arc. It's too quick.
Yeah.
And
it wasn't as nuanced as it should have been, as it would have probably been in the books, because they got the first 5 seasons from.
Oh yeah.
The first 4 books.
Yeah, exactly. The first 5 seasons are mostly based on the books, and then the 6th season was an outline given to them by George R. R. Martin. So was the 7th and 8th season, but like for whatever reason, the 6th season sort of holds up okay. I think it was not,
Yeah.
but like the season 7 and 8 universally panned. But that's the thing. Like with Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones, like I think people would say Game of Thrones was like the highbrow fantasy. It's like anyone can enjoy this fantasy because it's just a good drama in general. Lord of the Rings is specifically for the really devoted fantasy nerds.
The Robert Heinlein kind of sci-fi nerds, or fantasy sci-fi nerds.
No, I would say you should go read the Starship Troopers book, because Heinlein's Republic is actually something that should be taught in classes. Robert Heinlein. Okay, so Robert Heinlein would be considered like maybe the more right-wing version of Gene Roddenberry. They both predicted the future, and they just had these different ideas of like how like they both. It's
George Orwell's to Aldous Huxley.
Yeah. Robert Heinlein said he predicted that liberal democracies would fail over time and something would have to take their place. And he feared that it would either be a socialist or a fascist state. So he came up with this sort of different idea. Anyways, we're getting too off topic. You are dedicated and focused to your goals, only rarely getting distracted.
Only rarely.
Yeah, that's power through this. Come on.
No, I get distracted all the time.
Okay, so that's
so I'll go 3.
3, okay. If you make a mistake, you tend to start doubting yourself, your abilities, or your knowledge.
I could doubt myself if I make a mistake. I don't think it lingers though. So I'll go 3, as I tend to not doubt myself.
Yeah, I would actually go the other way. I would say I'd probably doubt myself. I'm my biggest critic. In other words.
Okay, I can see that.
When at a social event, you rarely try to introduce yourself to new people and mostly talk to the ones you already know.
I will try to talk to new people, especially if it's an attractive young lady.
Attractive young ladies.
But but if it depends on like the ratio between the people I know and don't know. If there's a whole lot of people I don't know, I'm not gonna try and get to know that many new people.
Speaking of which, we gotta talk about Halloween soon, so we'll do that after the podcast.
Who?
Halloween.
Tweens?
No, Halloween, not tweens. Jesus Christ, this isn't cuties.
Seriously. Yeah, we do need to start thinking about that.
Fucking pederast.
I'll go 4. I'll go in the middle on that one.
That's right. Way to ride that fence. All right. You usually lose interest in a discussion when it gets philosophical.
Yes.
Whoa, really? Oh no. That's usually when the conversation gets good for me. No, I'm the exact opposite. That's usually when the conversation gets good for me.
Oh.
So you usually
phrase the question again.
You usually lose interest in a discussion when it gets philosophical.
Oh, opposite then.
Oh.
I thought it was like you usually lose topic in a discussion if it gets like philosophical, and I said, yeah, probably.
So that would be highly agree then?
Oh yeah, definitely.
7?
7 it is.
All right. You and me are the same way, because I feel like that's when the conversation gets good, when you get into deeper philosophy of stuff. All right. You would never let yourself cry in front of others.
I know I wouldn't let myself cry in front of others, but I wouldn't do like, like, if I like, I'll go 5.
5? Well, 5. Okay. Yeah, I would definitely say like I'm a 2 on that one. Like if I like break a nail or something, I'm gonna fucking bawl.
Wait, what?
I'm very secure in my masculinity, so that means I'm basically okay to cry whenever.
Oh, then mine would be a 3. I thought it was the opposite.
No. You don't have to agree with me. No. You would never let yourself cry in front of others.
Agree or disagree?
No, you're right. I would be a 7. No, wait.
Okay.
Why am I not understanding this question? You would never let yourself. Why it's phrased stupidly. You would never let yourself cry in front of others. Yes, so disagree means you would let yourself cry.
One means you would let yourself cry. Two means you wouldn't. Or
Seven.
seven.
Yes, correct.
uh, I'll go three then. Three.
Okay. Once again, one because like if I got dumped that day by like Chad, then that would really hurt.
Yeah, it's Chad's loss.
That's what I told him. That's what I told all my friends. But you know, he's already moved on to someone better. He's got Nader now. All right, you feel more drawn to places with a bustling. What the fuck? You feel more drawn to places with a bustling and busy atmosphere than to more quiet and intimate ones.
Probably a little bit more quiet. I'll go. Is quiet on the high end or the low end?
Quiet is disagree.
Okay, I would disagree. So I go like two.
All right. You like discussing different views and theories on what the world could look like in the future.
Oh, definitely.
That's a seven.
Seven.
All right, you and me are the same on that one. I love discussing the future. All right, when it comes to
Yeah.
making life-changing choices, you mostly listen to your heart rather than your head.
Ooh, that's a big in between.
Yeah, that's called the esophagus.
That's called being indecisive.
No, the esophagus.
I'll
That's
go
between them.
four.
It's between them. What? Four? Okay.
Huh?
I think that okay, with me I feel like the heart gives me a general guidance, but the head has to win out for me. I have to be able to
The head
rationalize.
has to win in the end.
Yeah, I think the heart generally is good at guiding you in the right direction, but it can't make the ultimate decisions. The head has to win out. So I'd probably go more towards I'd probably say like a 3. I would agree a little more with my head than my heart. But the heart
Okay.
the heart has a place. It tells the
Yeah.
mind what it doesn't. It can't rationalize. So
The penis will get erect, but it's not going after everyone.
that's right. I actually would not trust my head or my heart. I would trust my penis. that
North Star, baby.
That's what knows the real decisions. All right, you can. Okay, next one. You cannot imagine yourself dedicated your life to the study of something that you cannot see, touch, or experience.
I could not see myself. Okay, so hands on. 2.
Yeah, I'd agree. I can totally study something that I have no direct experience with or won't have in it. You usually prefer to get your revenge rather than forgive. Ooh.
Ooh. Can't say I'm the most forgiving person, but I'm not the most vengeful person. I'll probably try to err on the side of forgiving, though. So I'll go 3.
All right. You often make decisions on a whim.
Ooh, not so much actually.
So
4.
okay, I'd probably go a little more to the disagree on that because I tend to overthink a lot of decisions, even minor ones. The time you
Yeah, I'm the indecisive one.
well, I can make quick decisions, but I do think everything through. I don't just basically on a whim decide something. Yes, you're the
Okay.
indecisive one. I've spent like hours in the grocery aisle with you. Like you pick out a pizza, pick a beer. Let's go home. Let's go watch some crappy B movie. That's what I want to do. I don't want to watch you pick between Tony's Pizza and Red Baron. By the way,
Tony's is
DiGiorno.
cheaper.
No, it is cheaper. It's not good. The time you spend by yourself often ends up being more interesting and satisfying than the time you spend with other people.
Ooh, I could go either way.
That means middle of the road.
Yeah, I mean, there are times to spend times with people, and there's times to be by yourself. So I have just as much fun on my road trips by myself than I do at like parties or whatnot.
So you probably go 5.
Sure.
Okay. Let's hope the political compass test goes quicker than this, because the estimated time completion for this test is 12 minutes, and I think we're over about 40 right now.
Oh, Lord.
Let's just hope. We'll see if we can get both tests in. You often put special effort into interpreting the real meaning or the message to a song or movie.
No, not always. Sometimes I don't even know the lyrics.
Wet ass pussy.
Pretty much. I didn't even know what that meant until afterward.
I think that's a deep song.
Deep,
Deep,
deep in
deep
the deepest recessions of the body song.
Damn right. And I'm going to the front door. Answer the question, Marty.
Say it again. How much do I think about the lyrics or trying to find meaning in the lyrics?
Yeah, you often put a special effort into interpreting the real meaning or message to a song or movie. How much?
No.
No, not much.
I'll go 3.
Okay, good. You always know exactly what you want.
Never. 1.
Okay. You rarely think back on the choices you made and wonder what you could have done differently.
I think I would go back and think where it would have led, but not specifically what I would have done.
Okay, so.
2.
2, okay. All right, we're a little more than halfway done. All right.
That's halfway.
Once again, the estimate was 12 minutes, but that's assuming all things non-Martin.
Okay.
When in a public
yeah, it didn't account for people like me.
When in a public place, you usually stick to quieter and less crowded areas.
I stick to
Quieter and less crowded areas.
Probably, yeah. I'll go 3.
You mean 5?
Yes, 5.
All right. You tend to focus on present realities rather than future possibilities.
I'm somewhere in the middle. I'll go 4.
All right. I think I'm more future-minded. I'm not really living in the present too much.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. That's one of my flaws. I need to be more present-minded. You often have a hard time...
Mindfulness.
Yeah. You often have a hard time understanding other people's feelings.
Oh, no, I think I understand people's feelings well.
Right.
What to fix them, I don't know.
No,
I'll go 6.
6. Wait, you often had a hard time understanding? No, you do have.
No, 2.
Okay, 2. Yeah, I would say I have a pretty good time understanding other people's feelings. I just don't care.
Fuck your feelings.
Fuck your feelings. Man, there's a video of a guy saying that. I love it. All right. When starting to, well, there's some people I do care about. When starting to work on a project, you prefer to make as many decisions up front as possible.
Yeah, I will only take that role if no one else will make the decision. So probably 2.
2. All right. When you know someone thinks highly of you, you also wonder how long it will be until they become disappointed in you. Oh my god, that's a self-destructive streak.
What? That sounds sad.
Yeah, I know. It's a very self-destructive streak. I mean, my god. When you know someone thinks highly of you, you also wonder how long it'll be until they become disappointed in you.
That's assuming you're going to disappoint them.
I know. It's a very terrible thought pattern. I can't believe someone would think that way, but people do.
Worst question of the test.
So far, yeah. Which is it?
1.
I would love it after that. You would say, yeah, 7. Totally me.
Yes. I fear it daily.
All right. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation.
I don't know. Like if I've seen like famous people or celebrities, I tend to try to leave them alone.
Does that happen to you often?
I mean, we're where people might show up occasionally,
That's
but
right.
not that often.
You met Jack Cust.
Who?
Jack
Oh yeah, I
Cust.
did.
Fuck
Didn't even
man.
realize it at the time.
Well,
I was
I don't.
like afterwards, like, oh, that was Jack Cust.
You met Shrek.
I wonder what he's up to now.
Beer.
Beer,
You feel
beer league baseball.
Yeah, you feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation.
You want to know the craziest celebrity, famed person I've ever met? Story was.
I'm pretty sure I know the story, but please go ahead and tell us.
Okay. So I was coming home after a late night of work, like 12 hours. I stopped by this new local watering hole and drawing myself up a beer and somehow start having this conversation with this guy next to me. He's in town because he's visiting UW Medical Center because his wife or his daughter was in cancer, was getting treatment. He was from British Columbia, and somehow we started playing chess. I don't know how,
Wait, you were playing chess with
but
him?
what's up?
You said you started playing chess with him?
Yeah, yeah, and he actually bet me a beer on for winner has to buy the other person a beer. And I wouldn't say like I'm terribly good at chess, but I'm better than most average people. So I was really surprised when he beat me. Uh, so then after that, we started talking about his life, and then we're talking about like science fiction and this idea in my head at the time that I was wondering why science fiction always felt kind of like near future instead of like far future. And he was saying I'm just not reading the right books, and he said I should read more authors like Robert Heinlein and Spider Robinson. And I was like, I don't know who Spider Robinson is. And then a few weeks go by, I go to a bookstore,
Oh no.
find a Spider Robinson book, buy it, and I read the book, and then I thought it was good, and then I went. It was called Time Travelers, Strictly Cash. And then I go to look up the author, and lo and behold, the guy's name's Spider Robinson, and it looks just like the guy I was talking with.
So you played a game of chess against a science fiction author who recommended himself to you without you knowing it.
Who had won the Nebula Award for I forget the book's name right now, but
All right.
he won a Nebula Award back in 1977.
All right, I'm looking at the guy right now. I just did. He looks like an old hippie. Is that right?
It's pretty much, yep.
Okay, great. I knew it.
Can you find that book name?
The book name, what's it called again?
The one I read was Time Traveler Strictly Cash, but he wrote another book called something more with time travel.
Time Travelers Strictly Cash. Yeah, it's on Amazon here.
I can't remember it. It's not important, but he won a Nebula Award, so that's my famous person story.
I thought you were going to talk about when Macklemore bought you a jersey off of you.
No, that was. Psh, this one was way more interesting of a story.
It is a more interesting story. I just didn't know who Spider Robinson was.
Do you have any celebrity stories?
No.
That's a long pause.
Well, I mean, I don't think I've met anyone. Really, I don't think so.
No.
Fuck, I mean,
Well, we have to change. We have to change that.
No, I mean, I don't care to meet any celebrities. I just don't think I have ever. Oh, there was that one time we saw Marshawn Lynch walk across like the street, and I saw a glimpse of his hat. So yeah, I do have a celebrity story.
Was that the time, like during pregame, when he was like surrounded by his bodyguards, and everyone was wondering why he was walking out amongst the fans?
Yeah, it was after he'd already like retired from the Seahawks, and he's just walking around the streets, and he's just surrounded. Exactly, and I saw his hat.
I know, in front of like literally thousands of people who would probably want to come up to him and like shake his hand all drunkenly and
Hey,
whatnot.
still counts. That's the
He's a
that's.
different guy.
I met John Brown, but I don't really consider him a celebrity.
Who's John Brown?
That's the old Seahawks kicker.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah, the one
I
who like
think he
beat his
got
wife.
arrested for domestic abuse.
Yeah, he beat his wife. He's a prick.
Jesus.
I met him. That's the only thing. But like, no one knows who he is. I don't know if that's a celebrity. So, I don't think I have
Okay.
I don't have a celebrity story. Sorry.
Okay. Okay.
To be
We'll become our own celebrities, and then you can tell everyone about your story about meeting me.
Can you get? Do you think you can get Spider Robinson onto the podcast?
I can give it an old-fashioned shot.
That's a spear. We want more.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Well, we want more guests on this show. Absolutely, it'd be fucking awesome. All right, you feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation. Pick one.
Three.
All right, okay, good. That's about me.
Especially helps if I have a drink.
All right, you often drift away into daydreaming about various ideas and scenarios.
I wouldn't say often, but I'll go 5.
5, yep. I would say I agree. Probably more than that. You look after yourself first, and others come in second. No, that's not you.
No, not me. No, 2,
All right.
maybe.
Even when you have planned a particular daily routine, you usually just end up doing what you feel like at any given moment.
Well, I mean, that's why I don't come up with a daily routine.
All right, disagree.
But I'll go 3.
Okay. Your mood can change very quickly.
No.
So, 2, 1.
2.
All right. You often contemplate the reasons for human existence or the meaning of life.
Oh, 7.
Oh, yeah, me too. Cool. We might end up being the same personality, Marty.
Oh, no.
That's cool, though, right?
Sure.
No, I mean, like, I gave this test to Phil, and it turns out me and him have the same personality, and it makes sense to me because most people bore me. You don't bore me.
Oh, that's good then.
Yeah. All right.
I'll be curious to see what my result is.
You often talk about your own feelings and emotions.
No. Disagree. 1.
All right. We're almost there. All right. You have got detailed education or career development plans stretched several years into the future.
1.
Yeah. You rarely dwell on your regrets.
My what?
You rarely dwell on your regrets.
1.
Oh, so you do dwell a lot on your
Or
regrets.
no. Then 7.
Okay. Spending time in a dynamic atmosphere with lots of people around quickly makes you feel drained and in need of a getaway.
No.
Huh?
We'll go 4.
Okay. You see yourself as more of a realist than a visionary.
No. I disagree. Disagree. 2.
So you're more of a visionary.
3.
Okay, 3.
I'll go 3.
We're going 3.
Mm.
All right, you find it easy. I think I'm probably more of a 2. You find it easy to empathize with a person who has gone through something you never have.
Wait a second. I was definitely more visionary, right? On the last question.
Yes, you're good.
Okay.
You find it easy to empathize.
Find it hard to empathize with something that someone.
No, hold on. You find it easy to empathize with a person who has gone through something you never have.
Easy?
Yeah.
I don't think empathizing should feel ever easy.
Okay, so what are we looking at? 5, 6, 7? No, wait, sorry. 3, 2, 1.
I'll go 4.
Okay, 4. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than to an organized and consistent effort.
Spontaneous burst. So 6.
All right. Okay, we're really close. Your emotions control you more than you control them.
I would disagree. I would probably say 2.
Hmm. After a long, I would agree. After a long and exhausting week, a fun party is just what you need.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
6.
Okay. Okay, you and I disagree on that one. I would probably just say no. I want to be recuse myself. I don't want to be around anyone. All right,
Okay.
yeah, that's me. You frequently find yourself wondering how technological advancement could change everyday life. Ooh,
Not constantly, but I'll probably go 6.
dude, I'm a 7 on that one. I constantly worry about how fast technology is advancing.
I guess it's not like a worry for me. It's more like a wonder.
It's a worry for me.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, it's that. All right. You always consider how your actions might affect other people before doing something.
Yeah, I'll go 6.
Okay, that's considerate. I would agree. You still honor the commitments you have made, even if you have a change of heart.
Definitely.
Definitely. 7.
Mhm.
I would agree.
Mhm.
I think someone's only as good as their word, I think.
True.
All right. You rarely feel insecure.
Uh, Probably not that much. I'll go 5.
All right. All right. That was it. That was it, Tina. You ready
Da,
to
da, da,
hear?
da, da.
You ready to hear
You
your?
got any guesses?
Wow. Okay.
Should I say what I last tested as?
Okay. Yeah. You give me what you think you are and what you last tested as, and then we'll go over your results.
Okay. I think I last tested as an INFP probably about a decade and a couple change. Um, Maybe I would think I'm in between the F and the T a little bit more. Um, but I think that would be the biggest difference, like an INFP or an INTP.
Tina.
Dun, 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 dun.
You are
What?
indeed an INFP.
Hey, it holds true.
Your personality has not changed much in 10 years, and that's good. All
That's
right.
because I'm the dreamer.
You're a mediator.
Oh, well, some people call it a dreamer. So
Fine, we're going to call it the mediator, and we're going to get into it in a second here. 63%
okay,
introverted versus 37% extroverted. You're 60% more
okay.
intuitive than you are observative. You're 63%
Mm-hmm.
more feeling than you are thinking. And you are 75% more prospecting than you are judging. Well, they've changed some of these. This is not
I
the
think
old.
perceiving.
I was perceiving before. You're right. Anyways,
Yeah. Did they change it to prospecting?
they had changed it. Yeah, it used to be perceiving. But
Really?
yeah,
I'm not surprised about P being my highest. I think that's your judgment or organization function.
P was about your decision making. Let's go back to that. Uh oh.
I think the T and F was decision, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
And
no, hold on. Okay. Yeah, your biggest trait is your perspective versus your judging. And this trait reflects your
mm,
approach to work, planning, and decision making.
okay,
So that's the biggest difference.
that makes sense. That would probably be, I would say, my most kind of strongest traits then,
Yeah.
or most dynamic.
All right. You want to get further into the details of your type?
Sure, tell people who I am.
All right. For those who want to learn more about who Marty is the mediator.
Mm.
Mediator personalities are true idealists, always looking for the hint of good in even the worst of peoples and events, searching for ways to make things better. While they may,
Hey,
while they may be perceived as calm, reserved, or even shy, Mediators have an inner flame and passion that can truly shine. Compromising just 4% of the population, the risk of feeling misunderstood is unfortunately high for the mediator personality type. But when they find like minded people to spend their time with, the harmony they feel will be a fountain of joy and inspiration. So far,
Oh,
I would say this is very accurate. Well, I hope so. All right.
I believe male INFPs are even rarer.
Yeah, you are an INFP. Being a part of the diplomat role group, mediators are guided by their principles rather than by logic, excitement, or practicality. When deciding how to move forward, they will look to honor, beauty, morality, and virtue. Mediators are led by the purity of their intent, not rewards or punishments. People who share the mediator personality type are proud of this quality, and rightly so. But not everyone understands the drive behind these feelings, and it can lead to isolation. Ooh.
Oh, dun dun dun.
We know what we are, but know not what we may be. At their best, these qualities enable mediators to communicate deeply with others, easily speaking in metaphors and parables, and understanding and creating symbols to share their ideas. Fantasy worlds, in particular, fascinate mediators more than any other personality type. The strength of their visionary communication style lends itself well to creative works, and it comes as no surprise that the many famous mediators are poets, writers, and actors. Understanding themselves and their place in the world is important to mediators, and they explore these ideas by projecting themselves into their work. Mediators' ability with language doesn't stop with their native tongue either. As with most people who share the diplomat personality types, they are considered gifted when it comes to learning a second or third language even. Their gift for communication...
Really?
Yeah. Why didn't you ever learn a third language? Why didn't you ever learn a
I
second
guess
language?
I didn't take the test soon enough.
Their gift for communication also lends itself well to mediators' desire for harmony, a recurring theme for diplomats, and helps them to move forward as they find their calling. Listening to many people but talking to few. Unlike their extroverted cousins, mediators will focus their attention on just a few people. A single worthy cause. Spread too thinly, they'll run out of energy, and even become dejected and overwhelmed by all the bad in the world and they cannot fix. This is a sad sight for mediators' friends who will come to depend on their rosy outlook. If they are not careful, mediators can lose themselves in their quest for good and neglect the day-to-day upkeep that life demands. Mediators often drift into deep thought, enjoying contemplating and hypothetical and philosophical more than any other personality type. Left unchecked, mediators may start to lose touch, withdrawing into a hermit mode. Ooh. And it can take
Hermit mode activated.
and it can take a great deal of energy from their friends or partner to bring them back into the real world. Luckily, the flowers in spring, mediators' affection, creativity, altruism, and idealism will always come back, rewarding them and those they love, perhaps not with logic and utility, but with a worldview that inspires compassion, kindness, and beauty wherever they go.
Hey, I'm surprised I didn't talk about Crusader mode. It's kind of the opposite of hermit mode.
Would you okay? So with that quick assessment, would you agree with what you just heard?
I mean, I can find parts that I disagree with, mostly the language part. But maybe I'm a special circumstance. I'm only 60% on most functions. So, yeah, I mean, I remember first taking it, and I was really liking the archetype, and I explored a lot about like Myers Briggs types and relationships and how they intermingle with each other and shadow functions and all that. But I mean, yeah, I mean when they talk about like other types of INFPs, if I don't know if they give any examples, but it definitely seems like I'm more like those types of people than others.
Oh no, hold on. There are examples of famous personalities that fit the mediator archetype. Would you like to hear some of them?
I'm sure I've heard them before.
All right.
But yes, go with your favorite one.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go with a couple actually. So
okay.
So some of the more famous mediators, INFPs that you may know are J.R.R. Tolkien,
Oh.
William Shakespeare,
Ooh.
Alicia Keys,
Mm.
Julia Roberts,
She's hot.
Johnny Depp,
Okay. He's a little wild.
Frodo Baggins.
But of course. That actually, when you were talking about feeling like spread too thin, one of my favorite quotes is by Tolkien, and he's talking about butter being spread too thin on toast.
All right. So, certainly a good crew to be with. J.R.R. Tolkien and William Shakespeare are two of the best writers there ever were. So,
They're the one percenters, you know.
Okay. Out of curiosity, Tina, like, are you into writing? Like, you're definitely into fantasy? I could probably guess.
No, I mean I've never tried writing. No, I did try some poetry, but not extensively.
Did you ever let anyone read it?
I think so, yeah.
Hmm.
I can give you a poem after the podcast if you want to read it. It's probably the last one I wrote.
Wait, so you don't feel comfortable sharing it on the air?
I don't have it with me right now. I'm
Oh, okay.
pacing outside the back of my house.
Is there anything else you'd like to hear about yourself? Strengths and weaknesses, romantic relationships, friendships, parenthood, anything like that? Career paths?
They probably recommend the mirror image. I believe the best romantic relationships would be like ENFJ, right? But I think as far as like best for overall like relationships, it's usually like an ESTP, which is interesting. Which is
I was gonna actually media. Okay, so we're gonna get into romantic relationships because that's what you brought up. So
sure.
Mediators are dreamy idealists, and in the pursuit of the perfect relationship, this quality shows strongest. Never short on imagination, mediators dream of the perfect relationship, forming an image of this pedestaled ideal that is their soulmate, playing and replaying scenarios in their heads of how things will be. This is a role that no person can hope to fill, and people with the mediator personality type need to recognize that nobody's perfect, and that relationships don't just magically fall into place. They take compromise, understanding, and effort.
Okay, they're usually pretty grim about INFP's romantic relationships.
Fortunately, these are qualities that mediators are known for, and while it can be a challenge to separate long-lost fantasies from reality, mediators' tendency to focus their attention on just a few people in their lives means that they will approach new relationships wholeheartedly with a sense of inherent value, dedication, and trust.
Oh, man, you're making me blush.
Oh yeah, see, it's not all that bad. There's some promise out there. Okay, so that you focus on a few relationships with people, so that you can give them the maximum time that they deserve.
Yes, you know, some relationships take more than others. I can tell you that.
Yeah. All right. Just out of curiosity, you want to hear my personality type, or would you like to hear more about your own?
Oh no, I want to guess yours.
You want to
I
guess?
think I remember when you first took it. I wonder if it's still the same. Is it ISTJ?
No, it's not ISTJ.
INTJ?
Yes, it's INTJ.
Damn, yes.
You were very close.
Okay, so I think I remember you taking it and having an ISTJ a long time ago.
It's possible. Maybe my personality has changed over the years, but I have an INTJ personality the last time I took it.
I think, what was the INTJ? The thinker, the planner?
The INTJ is the architect.
The architect, yeah. Introverted thinking, extroverted intuition, right?
Introverted, intuitive, thinking, and judging.
Introverted, intuitive. Wait. Oh yeah, opposite.
Yeah.
Introverted intuition and extroverted thinking.
So we would have introversion and intuition together, but I'm more of a thinker and more of a judger, and you're more of a feeler and a prospector. All right.
No, actually, the way we take in information is like completely opposite
All right.
and
Well,
express it.
hold on. Let's get into the introduction of the INTJ, who I am. Who I am is that?
Yes. Introduce yourself,
All right. Okay.
Karen.
So my name is Karen. I am an INTJ. An architect is a person with an introverted, intuitive thinking and judging personality type. These thoughtful tacticians love perfecting the details of life, applying creativity and rationality to everything they do. Their inner world is often a private and complex one. It can be lonely at the top. Being one of the rarest personality types and being
But such a nice view.
I'm just reading what it wrote. I'm sorry. It can be lonely at the top. I'm going to read it again. Yeah. Being one of the rarest personality types and being among the most capable people, architects know this all too well. They make up just 2% of the population, and women with this personality type are even rarer, forming only 0.8%. It can be difficult for architects to find people who can keep up with their nonstop analysis of things. People with this personality type are imaginative yet decisive, ambitious yet like their privacy, curious about everything but remain focused. The right attitude for meeting their goals. With a natural thirst for knowledge that shows itself in early life, other kids at school often call architects bookworms. While their peers may intend to insult them, those with this personality type like identifying with the label. Throughout their lives, they're proud of how much they know. The architects enjoy sharing the knowledge they gain. They're confident in their mastery of their chosen subjects. They are serious and prefer to design and carry out effective plans rather than waste their time with foolish distractions such as gossip. Architects accept and work with inconsistencies that make perfect sense to them, at least from a purely rational standpoint. For example, architects can be both the most positive dreamers and the bitterest of pessimists at the same time. On the positive side, these personalities believe nothing is impossible with enough effort, intellect, and thought. On the negative side, they might also believe that people are usually too lazy, unimaginative, or too selfish to reach hard goals. But this idea won't put them off chasing their own. Standing on logic and principles. Architects are self-confident in their skills and ideas they focus on. Using their insight and logic, they push innovation through by sheer will. It may seem that architects constantly deconstruct and rebuild every idea and system they encounter. They typically apply a sense of perfectionism and even morality to all of their work. Anyone who can't keep up with an architect's processes, doesn't see the point of them, is likely to lose their respect. Architect personality types dislike rules, restrictions, and traditions. For them, everything should be subject to question and review. When they can, architects often act alone, and their approaches are usually innovative and unique. They may not wait for others to catch up to them. Because of this, they're sometimes not as sensitive as they could be to thoughts and desires and plans of others. But they aren't impulsive. Architects strive to remain rational, no matter how attractive and easy but ill-considered route may be. Every idea must pass the strict and ever-present "does this make sense" and "is this going to work" filter. They apply these filters to all things and all people, and this is sometimes where architects' personalities run into a little trouble. Architects are confident in the subjects they take time to understand, but unfortunately they are reluctant to bother with topics that involve social skills. White lies and small talk, even when useful, are hard for personality types that needs truth and depth. Architects may even see many social practices as downright stupid. Oh, that's very true. Ironically, it is often best for architects to remain where they're comfortable, out of the spotlight. They have natural confidence there. If they stay within their element and do what they do best, they are likely to draw people to them, professionally, socially, and even romantically. They are fine on their own, and reaching out is often optional. The strategic style isn't meant to suggest that architects act coldly and without confidence, but architects like to win and dislike acting solely on emotion. And this can make it seem that way to other types who don't understand them well. This may explain why many fictional villains are modeled on this personality type. Yay!
Hey.
But architects are as likely as anyone else to act from integrity. or more, if so makes clear sense. Architects move through life as though it were a giant chessboard, advancing and retreating with considered intelligence. This personality type always looks for new tactics, strategies, and contingency plans. They constantly outsmart their peers and they maintain their control, all the while making their most of their independent style of thinking. With this, they can achieve any goal they apply themselves to. All right.
How you feel?
I feel that's very accurate. I do.
Yeah.
I have.
Where would you disagree with? I think you're pretty good at small talk.
I hate small
Maybe
talk.
that's just because you're around me.
That
But
I hate it. Maybe I'm good at it or not. I just really despise it. I hate when people try it on me. I don't know. I think
see what?
I hate when people try it on me because I never know what to say. If there's ever a point in my life
How's
where
the weather, Jet?
oh my god, it's about 70 degrees or so. I don't like I don't like small talk. I don't.
Okay.
I don't like the villain narrative.
No one would.
No,
It's just an INTJ that got led askew.
yeah, right. That's true. All right.
I'm
Here,
trying to think of famous INTJs. I think is it Chuck Palahniuk one?
no, he might be, but he's not on the list. Would you like to
Okay.
hear? Would you like to hear all the famous INTJs?
I'm trying to see if I can come up with them. I don't think Carl Sagan was. I think he was more of a P.
All right. I got
Go
it.
ahead.
Okay. Friedrich Nietzsche,
Nietzsche.
Elon,
All right. He was stubborn.
Elon Musk.
Okay.
Chris,
How would you compare yourself to Elon Musk?
I like Elon Musk a lot. I really do. How do I compare it to him? I think he's a little more robotic in his interactions. I think I can actually express myself a little more humanly. He comes off kind
Do you
of
think his public persona matches his private persona?
What's his public persona? Because I've seen him what's his private persona?
I don't know. Like he had the interviews that you've seen him in, he can come off a little awkward, and
Oh.
then like he'll say just like random stuff on Twitter occasionally, and
I love his Twitter, actually. I love his. Did you ever read the Bernie Sanders drinking game?
I've heard of it. I think.
That's Elon Musk's meme that he put out. The Bernie Sanders drinking game. Every single time Bernie Sanders mentions a free government program, drink someone else's beer.
Oh yeah, I have heard of that.
I loved it.
I never had a strong opinion either way of Musk. I didn't know him that much beforehand. I thought his story within PayPal and that company was interesting.
I've always held a lot of respect for Elon Musk. I don't agree with everything he does or says, but I think he's one of those people who will shape the world for better or worse. He is that impactful in the world.
Yeah, he's willing to bet it all, and can respect that.
A few other people on the list of INTJs are Christopher Nolan,
Okay.
Vladimir Putin, okay, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Really?
Yep.
That could explain your love for Duke Nukem and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, and if you want some if you want some fictional characters, Walter White.
Okay.
And Peter Baelish, Littlefinger from Game of Thrones. Damn. There's got to be one.
I don't think.
There's got to be one. There's got to be one fictional character who's admirable. Oh, good, Gandalf. I'm Gandalf. You're Frodo.
Can you name an evil INFP character?
No, because there was a short list. Evil INFP.
I'm actually kind of curious now. I'm not sure if I try to look it up or not.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up right now. Villains. INFP villains.
I would be curious. This is gonna be like the saddest villain.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Commodus from Gladiator.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Hmm.
And
I can't remember his character being anything other than like a whiny bitch, but
Oh, and Kylo Ren.
oh, really? He's not really that bad though.
He's a whinier bitch. Oh,
He saves the day in the end.
and the Phantom from
Sacrifices himself.
and the Phantom from Phantom in the Opera.
Okay.
These are INFP villains.
Don't you feel better about your supervillains then?
I don't know. I think Littlefinger's a wormy rat. I don't like him. Well, I mean, I respect him. He's like the smartest person on that show. So, yeah, I get it. Like, I think INTJs are far too into intellect and not enough into humanity.
Chaos is a ladder.
I love that line.
So do I. It's a good line.
Yeah.
So you're an INTJ and your wife is an INFJ.
INFJ. Yep. She's my heart.
Interesting.
Yeah. She keeps me grounded. Makes me see what's
Okay.
No, it's true. Otherwise, I'd be too lost in my own head. I wouldn't actually feel for people like I do. It's very good.
Interesting.
Yeah, and
I've definitely met a few INFJs in my lifetime.
my sister's an INFJ.
They're always nice.
My sister's an INFJ.
Oh, is she?
Yep.
Really?
Oh yeah. And
Okay.
Phil.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and my friend Phyllis, he is an INTJ, so that's probably why he and I get along so well.
His humor is a little bit more expletive. Explicit more than yours, probably.
I would say 6th grade. His humor is far more toilet humor, and it's far more immature, but I like it. It makes me laugh. He can make me laugh because he comes up with the most vulgar stuff very fast. I don't know. Either way.
All right, so let's go through all your functions just one by one. So your primary function is taking in intuition and introspectively. Your social function is your extroverted thinking. Your tertiary function. Huh?
Introverted.
Did I get it opposite again?
Yes.
Introverted thinking?
Sure.
I was pretty sure it starts out introverted intuition, then extroverted thinking, right?
It's introverted, intuitive thinking, and judging.
No, these are your functions.
My functions?
Then not your acronym.
Oh, I don't see functions. I don't know what to make of that.
Yeah, that's something I kind of got into. So your primary function, since you're judging primarily, is how you take in information. So you take in information primarily through your intuition introspectively. You're thinking a lot. And then socially, your best function as far as like relating to others is talking out loud about these ideas through your extroverted thinking. Then your tertiary function would be introverted feeling is what you tend to fall back on when you're kind of like bored, or like if people feel like you look a little bit like spaced out, that's kind of what you're doing. It tends to be something you fall back on. And then your
I fall back on spacing out.
quaternary function.
I fall back on spacing
Other
out.
people other people might perceive you as like spacing out, but you're not really. It's just what if you see someone like look spaced out, they might be entering into their tertiary function.
I actually agree with that a lot because I feel like a lot of people might think I'm much more airheaded than I am.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
but yeah, there's stuff going on. Like when people think I'm kind of like being an airhead, I'm usually using my tertiary function, which would be introverted sensing. So I'm just taking in kind of like the sights and locations around me, taking in the information around me. And then it would be your quaternary function would be your extroverted sensing. So how you're kind of making your way through your day on a map, basically. kind of following signs more than per let's say right, left, right, Um,
Right.
and then you get in your shadow functions.
God damn it! Shut up.
No, I'm trying to get to so your very least, the function you use the least, but is actually one of the most important functions in your life is their transformative function, which would be introverted sensing, which is my spacey function. And that's when you're just getting new information, basically stuff you haven't heard before. And that's what kind of transforms your perspective most of the time.
Yeah, I would say that. I mean, like I had a
Mine would be,
oh,
yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I remember having a conversation with my wife, who I was having an argument with my mom, and I was see, I have it in my head that someone would someone forms their opinion because they don't have the complete picture. They're missing information. And so I try to fill the gap of their missing information, and that will successfully change their mind. But then I remember having a conversation with my wife about that argument I had with my mom, and I was told that not everyone is really interested in having their mind changed, and which is funny because I don't want to. It makes me sound arrogant, but if I've learned something I didn't know before, I consider that a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need to be right. Because I don't expect to be right about everything. No one's that way. But if there's something out there I don't know, and
it's hard for me to make a good analysis out of
well, if I hear
that.
if I hear something I don't know that radically changes my worldview, I have to change my worldview. I don't get to just simply deny the truth. I have to adapt.
Yeah.
So that's why I like the fact that I feel like my outlook on life is constantly adapting. I'm not rigid.
Yeah.
I'm not as rigid as people might think. I'm very flexible. Some of my core values haven't changed over the years, but the truth is I've learned a lot more about the world now than I did when I was 20, and I'd hate to think that I knew everything about the world when I was 20 because I didn't know anything when I was 20.
See?
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah,
Imagine
that's why it's called the transformative function.
Damn it.
It's not something people actually talk a lot about when they get into Myers Briggs, but it's some of the more kind of
and yet
deeper
you
stuff.
still discredit this as a personality test.
Hey, psychologists, you're assholes.
Now, this test is modeled after Carl Jung. What is your opinion about Carl Jung?
You asked me a decade ago, I might have more of an opinion, but I mean, he wasn't like Freud.
No, not at all. But that's probably
no. But he's the first one that kind of came up with more of an archetypal sort of the personalities.
Yeah.
The two middle functions in your thing actually stem from his work.
Mm-hmm, exactly. And I only asked because your dad was a psychologist, right?
He was a social worker.
Oh, okay.
He would always say he's a psychologist, and he had a degree in psychology, but he was more of a social worker.
Okay, but he still dealt with people's problems in a different way.
Yeah. He said when he had to deal with people's problems in person, that's why he stopped liking being a social worker.
Yeah, I can't imagine. That'd be a hard job to do over a career. Well, good on him. You and I met in psychology. You and I really met in psychology class.
Actually, yeah.
That's when we knew of each other.
Ironically.
We knew of each other for years prior to our psychology class, but we didn't really become friends until we had a class together like that.
We were forced to sit down together.
You, me, Ramirez, and what the hell was the other kid?
JD DeVega.
JD DeVega. It wasn't Ramirez, was it?
Yeah.
Was it Ramirez?
No, Ramirez was with us too. Yeah, he was part of the group.
Oh, okay.
I think.
I don't know. So long ago now. We were just kids.
2 white guys and 2 Latinos. Who knew?
You're white?
Yeah.
Weird.
Yes.
I thought you were Jewish.
Weird. You know what's funny is right next to the transformative function is actually your humor function.
Oh, what's my humor function?
It kind of makes sense. It's introverted thinking. You use
Hmm.
internal like thoughts and little quips for humor.
I enjoy that. Oh. Wait, what other kind of humor is there? Am I so in my own head that I can't
There's
understand what other humor might be? Other like witty dialogue is hilarious to me.
no, I mean you humor.
Well, a guy getting hit in the
Who?
groin,
Oh yeah,
a guy
definitely.
getting hit in the groin with a football is very funny.
I
Dana, you there?
not humor, but
I'm losing you.
I'm here.
Hey, I'm losing you though.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Anyways,
Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Anyways, I was
But it's
saying,
not your preferred type of humor.
no, I'm losing you. I'm sorry. I'm getting every other word almost.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Now I can, yes, but like in a second, I
No?
don't know if I can. Yep.
All right. Let me stay here.
We're communicating out there on the cyber web. Towers are beaming off in outer space.
Could be. I don't know. Hacking towers, man.
Are you on the cell phone?
I mean, move hair closer.
Are you on a cell phone?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. We can
Tina?
cut this part out, right?
No, we're not cutting this part out. We're gonna just end it like this, though, because it's getting late. It's a Monday. I gotta work tomorrow.
Oh,
And I know I wanted to do the political compass test too, but we're gonna have to save that for another podcast, which is probably the better. We have more
yeah.
subject
And
material.
save it for another
Damn
podcast,
it!
people.
Damn it! You dropped out again. God damn it!
I don't know why I'm dropping out.
The Illuminati.
Do I love what?
The Illuminati.
I like illuminating facts.
Okay, we'll just assume that you didn't hear me and you're not one of them. Okay. All right.
No, I'm not.
You're not a part of the Illuminati.
No.
A resounding.
But
no.
I like illuminating facts.
Hardly the same thing. But I'm glad that you denounced the Illuminati. They're going to be out your front door tomorrow.
Is that why our podcast is breaking up?
No, that's no. Our podcast is breaking up because we have cheap crap for our equipment. Ah. Okay, but
Yeah.
I know everything's falling apart. My the arm to my microphone actually fell off, so I'm actually holding it now. Okay. Shut up! It's a work in progress. Anyways, for Tina and Karen,
Yes.
do the tube. I am INTJ Karen.
This is MF Tina.
Motherfucking Tina. All right. We'll catch you later in the week when we posted a new podcast to talk about the day's events and news. All right. We love y'all. So,
Shakalaka boom boom.
oh yeah, let's end on that. All right. Stay safe and stay hydrated. Bye.